Good morning. Today I'm going to be making a bridge, cobblestone bridge. So we'll be using some styrofoam. I've got it the size I would like for my distance I'm going to need it for. What we're going to end up with the final results is one looking like this. Oh, I got a little flock still on it. So as you can see, the sides in detail, and we will show you how to make one of these. So what I do is I take the styrofoam, I take a black or blue pen, something that's dark, and I start in my first corner. Let's see if I can get this a bit better. I'm going to start in my first corner, just make an indentation with my pen. And as I go, I'm going to do another one. And what I want to do is try to make a cobblestone look. But make the rocks a bit different. Take your pen, dip down into the styrofoam if you give it a little depth. So if you have some pieces that do come off like this, that's fine. That's just going to give it a little more texture to the look. So as you can see, I'm trying to do this a little. I'm going to bring this one a little more in and break it up and make it smaller. What I want to try to do is bring it right to the edge because I'm going to make it meet on here and coming around to the bottom. I don't want this square, so I'm going to actually give this a little, try to get some of this out of here. So as I go along, I'm trying to not make a regular pattern, but enough that I'm covering over. I think I'm going to go up in this area right here and make it look like it's coming down, and we'll do a few of the same rocks. I'm just getting over here, so I'm going to push down a bit around because it looks like I'm just not getting in too deep, not scarring it enough. Usually I'm doing this flat, so it's usually a bit more pressure coming down on it when doing it this way, but we're getting the effects. So see, I just keep on coming back around, work one side to the other, and then you're not really looking the same. You're kind of getting a broken up pattern as we go along, kind of like this right here. So pretty soon I'm just going to pause the camera and quickly go along the top and then come back and resume on the sides and show you what the top is going to look like, and then work the sides along. All right, I'll be back shortly. All right, so I've got my top all done. As you can see on the cobblestone, I've got a little depth going to it. On the sides, I made sure I came down around where I was going so I can continue on where I left off, because what I want to do here is just keep on going down and kind of just work my way. And let me see what I'm doing here a bit better. See, I want to just work my way kind of down here. I'm going to do the same. I want to just bring it down in so I can keep on. Just make that a little more. See, as I'm going, I'm kind of just filling in little areas and pushing in to kind of give it a more of a looking like the stone going. I'm going to just kind of mark in here, kind of define some areas that look like it'll be more of a cobbly stone. Kind of brush out areas that are loose. Oh, actually, probably make that look a little more downfall. This groove here and along here. So what I want to try to do now is work this side over and cobblestone it so it looks like it's more than just one. Let's see, when you get these old pieces, all I do is pop them out to give them a little more depth. So it doesn't harm the look at all, actually. If anything, I really like the effect that it's going to end up giving. What it already has. So I'm just going to come in along the sides. So as you can see, I'm just following along the lines here where I've come down and going around, so you can see the cobbly look of the stone. And since I came down along the side, I'm just going to come along. Actually, hold on and let's. So now you've got it coming all the way around and having the stone effect, and I can even see, I can probably pop out this little corner to give it a little more bit of a depth look. There. So as you're coming around, it's looking like it's all one piece. So I'm just going to go and finish off these sides and come back and show you the final look before we go for some texturing, more texturing. Alright, so I've got the sides done. So as you can see, here's our top. And you can now start seeing inside that we've got a little more detail. Don't worry about seeing all the pen marks. When you paint it, that's actually going to help bring out the detail. As you can see, I've come around the sides, around all the corners, and now, as you can see, I've got my marks down and starting where I need to go for the bottom. And this way I keep it all going in one area. So I'm going to go finish that and I will be back shortly. See you soon. Alright, so I'm now back with everything completely done. We first started on the top, gain more of our depth and tail detail. We went around the sides, matching up the top. And then we went and did the same on the bottom. It looks like I've got a piece that's still holding on. There we go. And we did the same. We did matching completely up. And it looks like I need to go along the sides here. I don't know. I'll have to go over with my brush in a bit. But yes, there we go. So now we've got the bridge and the cobblestone, and the next step is to go over and paint it, which means I need to clean off some of these sharp edges on the side. All right, we'll be back in a bit. See you later. Cheers. All right, now I'm back. I've got my watered down paint. I'm just going to go across and try to get a coating here and dab in. Let that try to seep down into the grooves I've come out. because I can see some areas going down. Try to give a little bit of a blow to get it going into some of the other recessed areas. And on the bottom you can see where I tested to make sure my paint solution, paint water, was thick enough but not too thick. Thick enough to cover it but thin enough to go down into the grooves. It's pretty chilly out here today. It's about 4 degrees Celsius, so you're into the 0 range, I believe, in Fahrenheit for you Americans. Alright, the joys of dealing with painting paint sticky fingers. I bet some people actually enjoy that. I don't like the feel of paint on my fingers at all. So far I'm getting around into the grooves. I see I'm missing a few areas. Oh, yummy, I just got that on my lips. Oh, there, that's starting to come along nicely. I'm starting to see some of the color of the pen now popping out. I'm going to go along the bottom. That. Go back over and touch up where I'm touching down on the ground. Hence the hasty tray maker. I don't take the time to set things up proper always. I just want to go. Having 5 kids doesn't leave me much time, so I just try to do the best I can in the time I have. And since I'm not doing this for money or to be 100% efficient at times, I just want the bare basics of what I'm trying to achieve. Alrighty, I think I'm getting there. I'm gonna have a puff of cigarette I've got on the go. So okay, so there's it painted. You're starting to see where the thin grooves are coming out. Oh, this area could probably take a bit more of a smooth on it. Get some of that excess paint off. See the bottom parts seeping through nicely. And it's starting to come out on this side as well. And we'll just try to get a little bit of that excess paint off on that corner here. So what I'm going to end up doing is just lowering that down, and since I've already got some paint on here, that gives me a little bit of a coating to flock, and I forgot to bring my little mix over here. Alright, so what I did is I took some fine earth, I believe it's the burnt earth fine with the burnt grass, and I just put a little bit of burnt grass for accent and covered it over and in, and I'm just going to give a little bit of a sprinkle on the tops here to kind of give it a little bit of a wear look, but not too much. I don't want to ruin the effect. Just want a little bit to give a there, just kind of like that. I just want to have a little bit of the earth on there. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to take some of my mixed grade brown fine ballast, and come on, I'm getting pretty low on this. It's time to go back to the store and get some more. And I just want a little bit of a coating on here to give it a little bit of a gravel look. And I'm just going to go and get my bottle of PVA that's already ready for dabbing down. Looks like I'm going to need to get some more made up. So all I do is I mix some PVA and water together when I don't want to spray for locking something in, and just kind of go on. Don't want it running anywhere, so I made that mistake the first time I did one of these, and I sprayed it with my PVA water solution in my spray bottle, which now needs to be refilled, and this one doesn't give as light of a mist as others does. And what I like to do is I like to just come back over a bit more again with my, now I got the PVA on here, just a bit more of a sprinkle to highlight on top of the gravel being kind of mixed in with the dirt. And I'll come back a little bit with my balance. Let's pinch off and try to get, okay, that should be close. So I'll come back a little more over so it looks a little layered, but I don't want to overtake the features that we've spent so much time on trying to achieve. So I'm going to let that dry. So pretty much, oops, sorry guys. Let's find where I am again. There we are. So that's what it's going to kind of look like right there from the top while it's wet and going. So down again, and your final outcome will look like this. Now if you want to go a little more detailed, you can do some shrub on top. This is for a Warhammer Age of Cygnus or 40k war board going across some water. So this is going to be the first bridge. The other one's a little bit shorter just because it's got a less of a crossing to go to, and it will end up on the war board I created in a earlier video where I've converted a wargaming board that was 9 feet by 5 feet into a Warhammer 40k board, which ended up getting changed into a Warhammer Age of Cygnus board because my son decided that's what he wanted to go with. So there we go. I hope you were able to take something away from this. Please check out our other videos. Check out our Facebook page as well for the Hasty Terrain Maker. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day.